So what do you do if your ex suddenly pops out of nowhere and starts being really nice? Does it mean they want you back? Or is there something else going on? Well, let's break it down. Okay, so we're talking about that confusing moment when your ex reaches out and suddenly acts all warmer and nice, like they were just before you split, and it can proper mess with your head. You've been trying to heal, right? You've been carrying this weight of heartbreak, and then bam, suddenly they're in your inbox. They're being super nice, and it's left you thinking, does this mean we're getting back together? Well, maybe. But let's walk through what might really be happening. By the way, before we get into it, I've got some brand new ebooks coming out very soon. One is a full in-depth guide about how to get over your ex, let them go, and build a bigger and better life for yourself. And then the other is about how to have a good day and increase your self-esteem. Some of the things that I do each day to help me feel good. So if you're interested in them and you want to be updated about when they're out, then hit the link in the description. So first off, just to be clear, this isn't about bashing your ex. You see, most of the time, they're not sitting there plotting how to confuse you. People can reach out for all sorts of reasons, often without realising how much of an impact it can have on you. So this isn't about some big blame game, but this is about looking at what are some of those reasons as to why they've reached out. So let's look at some of the most common ones. Reason number one, you are their comfort anchor. You see, after a breakup, the brain craves familiarity. Studies have shown that our nervous systems calm down when we reconnect with something familiar, even if it's not good for us. For your ex, that familiar source of comfort is you. They might not want the relationship back, but in a moment of stress or loneliness, you're their anchor. That's why they reach out. It soothes their anxiety. But for you, it just creates confusion. Now I know you're already sat there feeling like a slight dopamine hit at the sheer thought that you might be their anchor. But being their anchor is not where you want to be, however good that it might feel at the time, especially if you've still got strong feelings for them. Because at some point, they're not going to need that anchor no more. And guess where that leaves you? Completely lost at sea. See what I did there? Anchor and sea. Anyway, carry on. Reason number two, they've been rejected. And I know you're not going to like this, right? But sometimes your ex dates someone new and it doesn't work out. And suddenly they're feeling rejected. So where did he turn? To the one person they know who once made them feel special. You. But it's less about wanting to rebuild something with you and more about repairing their own ego. And here's the thing, right? Once that ego's repaired, you probably won't see them for dust. They'll pick you up, they'll fill you full of hope, they'll make themselves feel better, and then they'll drop you. And you are worth more than that. Reason number three, guilt. Not everyone talks about this, but guilt can be a powerful driver. If your ex ended things, especially if they felt like they hurt you, they might check in because deep down, they want to ease their own guilt. Being nice to you makes them feel like a better person. But notice something, that's about them. It's not about you and your healing. Actually, all it's going to do is make your healing even harder because you're going to end up with that dreaded thing that you never want in breakup recovery. Hope. Hope that they may come back. Hope will keep you stuck. Do not allow hope to be used to help them feel better about themselves. And again, and I know I'm repeating myself, but you're better than that. Reason number four, they want something. Now this one's sneaky, right? They start out friendly, super chatty, all smiles, then eventually it comes. Hey, can you do me a favour? Or, I was wondering if you still had... That friendliness was simply the setup because they want something from you. Now you need to be wary of that. And now you know about it, you'll see it when it comes. And yeah, reason number five, they may actually regret leaving. And it does happen, right? I've coached plenty of people who've ended up reconciling because one partner realised that they'd made a mistake and they want them back. So yeah, sometimes your ex reaching out is because they genuinely want to try again. The problem is, this is the only one you actually care about. And what can happen is you're too busy hoping that it's this one that you don't realise that it was actually one of the other four. But hopefully now, your eyes are wide open. So those are 5 possible reasons: comfort, rejection, guilt, wanting something, or genuine regret. But here's where things get simple. no matter which category they fall into, it all comes back to one simple question. Do they want to get back together with you? Yes or no? If the answer is no, or even I'm not sure, then keeping them in your life is not going to help you heal. In fact, it's going to do the opposite. It's going to cause you more pain, and it's going to keep you stuck in that pain. Now look, if you're already healed, if you're completely over your ex and then they've reached out, then none of this matters, because two people can be friends after a breakup. So if you're completely over them, then you can completely ignore everything that I've just said. But actually, if you are completely over them, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. Just something to ponder. Anyway, let's assume that you're not over them. So let's talk about practical steps, because I don't want you just sitting there overthinking. I want you to have a plan. So step one is pause before you reply. So when that message comes in and your brain floods with dopamine, it's literally like a hit of a drug. That's why you feel that rush of excitement. But don't respond in that state. Take a few hours, even a day, before you reply, because then you're not acting on pure emotion. Now, this isn't to play a game. That's what these Get Your Ex Back gurus want you to do. No, I simply mean give yourself a bit of time to calm down from that high you've just felt from getting their message before you respond, because then you'll respond from a more rational and logical standpoint. Step two, decide what outcome that you want. So ask yourself honestly, do I want this person back, or do I need to move on? Because if you still want them back, then the only conversation worth having is about getting back together. If you don't, then you need to protect your healing. You need to protect that process and not hinder it. So think about what you want from this. Step three, set a clear boundary. Now, you don't need to be rude. You can say something like, I appreciate you reaching out, but I'm trying to move forward. So unless we're talking about giving this another go, I don't think staying in touch is healthy for me right now. Now, that's going to be really hard for you to say, because I know the temptation is to just go with it, because you're super excited that they've reached out. But remember how you've been feeling. As hard as it is, you need to prioritise your inner peace. And step four, stick to it. Now, this is the hardest part, right? Because like I've just said, the temptation to stay in their orbit is strong. But remember, healing comes from space. You can't rebuild your self-esteem if you're stuck waiting for breadcrumbs from your ex. So to sum it up, whether your ex reached out because they're lonely, rejected, guilty, or they want something, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is whether they actually want to rebuild the relationship with you. Because if the answer is no, then the healthiest thing you can do right now is step back. Put yourself first and keep moving forward. So if this has happened to you and your ex suddenly reached out of nowhere, then drop it in the comments. What did they actually say and how did it make you feel? I'd love to hear what's going on. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. I release videos every single week and I don't want you missing out. But for now, nice one for watching and I'll see you in the next. Laters.